Hello, hello, guys. So welcome to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. I am your host. Follow me on Instagram, Elegant Jacqueline. Follow me on Facebook and YouTube. So today's guest, I'm really excited. We are going to be talking to Laylonna, Harley, whoop, whoop, and we are going to be talking about embracing your beauty. So welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Hey, I am doing well. How are you today?
I am good, thank you.
Nice, nice. So good to see you. So I'm so excited to sit down and talk with you because you are all about helping to empower women and helping women to find their beauty and their own unique self, just embracing your beauty. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Inner beauty out.
I love it. I love it. So what are some tips that you would say for someone that is wanting to find that confidence in themselves and who is wanting to embrace their beauty and find their own beauty?
I would say, you have to love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else? I know that's like a RuPaul kind of little tagline, but it really is true. And it's so hard when you start getting older and you're seeing little lines and little gray hairs, it's so hard to accept and embrace the maturity of life and growing old. So I think what I have to say is embrace every line that's there, embrace every gray hair because you've earned it, and every laugh line because we need to laugh more, and embrace just the essence of you in this journey of life. So
I love it. I love it. And like you said, as you start to age gracefully through life, you want to embrace every little line or smile line or anything that just is part of the process of getting older over time.
Yes. And it's so hard once you get older, especially, I don't know if it's just for models or just women in general. I used to be a model, so it's just kind of getting out of that limelight and then starting to see age progression.
Right.
For me, I started Embrace Beauty magazine and Beauty Within Photography because the models embrace your beauty. That was my personal model that I would look in the mirror and I would say to myself, is Laylonna, today you're going to embrace your beauty. And so I pick out one little thing I like about myself, and each day I try to pick out another thing that made me uniquely beautiful. That's like my beauty.
Yeah.
Like yours, you have a fantastic smile. It's just like little things that you don't think.
Yeah.
So it gives you a new light to actually focus on yourself. And the day and age, especially with COVID and the world's kind of standing still, you get a little bit more time to do that. So I think embracing every little bit about yourself that makes you unique.
I love that. I love that. So I'm going to take that tip. That's such a great one. Every day, say something positive about yourself. And just embrace it.
Yeah, I used to write little notes and stick them up on you're beautiful, you're brave, you're courageous, live your life, don't regret, little things like that I needed to do because at one time I was a very control freak. So everything had to be lined out with my photography, what I'm going to do. And once I just kind of let go, I think my photography and my art and myself evolved into something bigger than I didn't think but it did.
Very cool. And you said that you do photography. So how did you get into photography?
Well, I was a model at 13 years old, long sets. I was super bored. And one of my photographers gave me a camera and said, would you shoot behind the scenes? And I'm like, I have no clue. And he's like, well, figure it out. And so I figured it out. And I just found such a love for it. Just everything about it. I just absolutely love the genre, any genre. But I love more. I kind of go more onto the beauty and concept part of it. I love concepts. The more elaborate it is, the more I want to do it.
Yes. And I love it. So fun fact, guys. So we actually met years ago. And she actually took some beautiful pictures of myself, and I was performing a pole dance at in Tampa, and for VIP fashion with my friend who is also my partner and assistant with the show, Jason Rex, and we were performing with Infusion Remax, and so that was super fun and that was cool. And then we met and we developed a relationship, and then I had written for you for your magazine, and yeah, so it's fun to reconnect again.
Yes, it's so great that our paths led us to that moment.
Yeah.
I love taking the pictures of you on doing your dance and your partner singing such beautiful songs and you dancing to it. And the meaning behind your dance was so elaborate and beautiful and basically just simple. But you know what we need to do is love each other, and I really love that. And yeah, you wrote a few articles for the magazine, and
Yes.
yeah.
So your magazine. So for those of you guys that don't know, she's got your magazine, and tell us about that. Because do you have more than one magazine?
I do. I have two magazines. Embrace Beauty magazine is my baby, and it's about embracing beauty, no matter where we're at. But we not just females, but males also, because everybody is beautiful in their own way. Everybody is unique. And then when I was doing a show, I kept getting a lot of fashion stuff that didn't really fall into the Embrace Beauty thing I was doing. So I started Omega Fashion, and so that's more focused on the fashion trends and designers and stuff like that. And then Embrace Beauty is focused on, lifestyles and everyday life, and inspiring others to have the courage to embrace their beauty.
I love it. So how did you even get your foot into the door to even create and start these magazines?
Well, I was led. I had great advice from a few other friends. Kathy Richards from Surreal Beauty Magazine. She led me in the right direction. Devage Magazine, Terrence Moreau in Chicago, Illinois. He's a photographer also, and he has they kind of they kind of helped me. So I've played it forward when other new editors come and say, how do I start a magazine? I give them the tips and trades that I've learned over the years. We're celebrating our 6th birthday for Embrace Beauty. So that's amazing. It's, when I started it, I had a model and she submitted her pictures and the editor told her she was too black and she needed to bleach her skin.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted a magazine where alternative models, you have too many tattoos, you're too curvy, you're too short. You're too this. I wanted a magazine that accept the things that the stereotype standards did not, know. It's because to me, I think beauty has no limits. And, your beautiful curvy side, you're beautiful petite, you're beautiful with tattoos, you're beautiful as dark as you can be and as light as you can be. It really doesn't matter. Beauty shouldn't be based on the skin color or where we come from or our gender. It should be, to me, I think beauty comes from the inside and you radiate out.
I love that. I love that. And it's so crazy because as a child, I've always modeled for a really long time, but when I was younger in high school, I had an agent that wanted me to get a nose job and said that I was not going to make it in the industry without getting a nose job. And I wanted one so bad in high school. I remember arguing with my parents, and my dad was like, no, you are not getting one, period. And now that I'm older and realizing I look exactly like both of my parents, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I did not go into that. And like you said, everyone has their own unique beauty, and that's what makes people stand out.
And that's what, the world is not a cookie cutter. We all can't look the same and act the same and be the same. And it would be quite boring if we did. So I love that there's so much diversity in beauty. And I wouldn't know what to do if everybody,
Yeah, we're the same.
It's just well, where's the creativity of it all? There wouldn't be any creativity. And it's I don't know who believes in God or whatever, but I believe that he made certain people to be the certain way they are. If you got your nose job, you wouldn't be Jacqueline anymore. You'd be somebody else that they're trying to mold you into. And that's where we need to get away from the stereotypical standards of what defines beauty. And it's we need to shake it up and unbind those rules because there's no rules on beauty.
I love it. I love it. Yes, shake it up. I love it. So then you are behind the camera modeling, and now you're in front of the camera. What is the journey like with that shift in roles?
I think the journey was pretty easy for me. I mean, I really fell in love more with the photography part than modeling. But when I first started out, I was only 16 as a photographer. So you're not going to get a lot of jobs.
Wow.
It was basically I had to do the modeling to get the jobs and, who I could. And then I would ask when I was on gigs and sets and stuff if I could take some behind the scene pictures of the models and the photographers and designers and makeup artists and stuff. And a lot of them used my stuff in their portfolio. So it was like really cool. And then from them showing those pictures, I got my first job into doing, I was 17 years old when I first got my first paid gig as a photographer.
That's so exciting because I know so many people are wanting to get into photography and they don't really know how, or there's so many different avenues. There's magazines, there's weddings, there's nature, there's animals.
Before I would say getting stuck on your genre, you really need to pick up your camera and get to know your camera inside and out, because the camera is a extension of you. I mean, we see all this beauty, but if you can't capture it, then you're just really a person with a camera taking snaps.
Yeah. Very true.
They definitely get to know your equipment. And I mean, my camera is like, it's an extension of me. It's like my hand. So if I don't know my hand, then how am I supposed to capture that moment? Because sometimes you only get the moment to capture and you don't get any other chances.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. So then you have done some photography work, and you have done a project where it went into a bookstore, correct?
Yes, very correct.
Tell me about that at
Barnes and Nobles, yes, the Parachute Goddess Project. It is a series. It started, I just wanted to take a picture of a big flowy dress in Malibu, California, and I posted some pictures on Facebook and from a friend of mine who does more of a fashion parachute photography. She showed me what she did, and I was like, oh, I want to do this. And I posted it, and my model came to California and said she had a gift for me, and it was this 27-foot parachute.
Wow.
And it started a movement that none of us knew was going to happen.
Yeah, that's so crazy. That's so exciting, though.
And so as today, like yesterday, we did our first ever goddess walk. I had a lot of goddesses, and we walked Indianapolis down from, what was it, 5 miles down. We walked with our parachutes, and it was so cold. It was like 40 degrees. It was we were so cold at the time. But people were honking. Other people were like, is this a wedding? What
on here?
These are the most ugliest bridesmaids dresses ever. This is a wedding. But it was so fun to take everybody downtown and get our pictures. And it's a celebration of the 19th Amendment. It's 100 years for women to vote. So I took all the girls down to the monument, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument here in Indianapolis, which is dedicated to the soldiers and sailors who died to give us those rights to vote. So I think it was just very powerful to have that kind of just mesh into the day. So yes, we're almost 100 strong of goddesses. And, yes, and when we do that, I call them my goddess tribes. So we almost 100 goddess tribes.
I love it.
And we have created a sisterhood together. I mean, some of these girls don't even know each other, but when you're seeing them in group, it's like they're best friends and they've known each other all their life. And it's amazing that it happened because they slipped on a parachute.
Wow. That's so cool. I love it. It's so inspiring and just so nice to see that, there are women that are strong and will empower other women and support other women and help build each other up. You don't have to dim someone's light to shine.
Most definitely. I love this quote that says, empowered women empower others. And I really want other people to take that. It's not just women empowering women, but I want to empower, future generations of females all over. This project is for the female and feminine beings. So, but guys are empowered too, and we love
our guys. We love our guys. I teach men in my dance classes too, so it's like everyone is just part of the love.
It's just like, if we didn't have those guys, we wouldn't have all these beautiful babies. So it's just like, we got to keep them all together. And everybody is beautiful. So that goes into my little model.
Love it. Has anyone ever been, when they're working with you or they're being photographed, have they ever been scared to embrace their beauty and scared to let themselves shine through?
Yeah, you see it's a struggle within them, and the parachute is the metaphor for that. The parachute's heavy and it's awkward, and it's it's a strange thing to put on this big 27-foot parachute, and you think, oh, that's huge, but when you're in it, it's even bigger. So you can kind of close up, and I just talk to them. When Adela's with me, she's up there coaching them, and I'm doing this stuff by myself because I just relocated to Indianapolis, and the sweet Adela is still in Jacksonville, Florida. So, yeah, we tried to make it, and when our tagline is embrace the experience, because that's what it is. It's an experience, and it's whatever the lady or the girl that puts on the parachute, it's whatever she wants to break free from.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to do, is break free from that shell that she can't do something because if she cries, she's weak, or, she's too sensitive or whatever. And it's like, forget everything about that and just love yourself. And once they see the snap, because they're like, oh my God, I feel so silly. This is so weird. Am I doing this right? And I show them back of the camera. They get so excited. And it's like, oh my God, is that me?
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then it just changes their whole demeanor afterwards. They only need to see that one picture of how I see them and how they're doing. Then they're like, wow. Yeah. So it does. But each girl has their own experience with the parachute. They have their own little thing. Some cry, some scream, some just laugh and dance, and some just kind of get a little shy. But we get beautiful images out of that. Sometimes a beauty is shyness.
Yes, that's so true. That is so true. Is there a tip or two that you would give someone who is behind the camera and they are wanting to break free?
Break free from getting in front of the camera?
Yeah, just to have either break free from being shy or free from not having that confidence in themselves.
It goes back to the self-reassurance in the mirror in the morning. I challenge everybody to at least have 5 things that make them uniquely beautiful.
I love it.
And then the next day, pick out 5 more things. And then 5 more things. And just continue to go until you look in the mirror and say, I love the skin I'm in. And then once you get to that, then, you're free.
I love it. I love it. Those are awesome tips. We're going to do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes. So what things do you have coming up for you?
What things I have coming up for me? We have, we're traveling to, Greenville, South Carolina, the 23rd to the 25th, which is hosted by Missy Rice. And she's been trying to get us down there for at least 6 months. So she's got her girls. Adela will be flying from Orlando, and I'll be coming from Indianapolis and meeting somewhere in the middle to create this magic experience for all of our ladies. And we have ladies coming from all over to meet us there and create. And then January 21st, 2021, we have our second book launch that goes to Barnes & Noble. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yes, congrats.
Yeah. And then other than that, we're open. Business.
Definitely exciting. So is there anything else that you wanted to tell the viewers?
Well, what do I have to tell the viewers? I would say you are worthy, you are enough, you are beautiful, you're perfectly made exactly the way you are. So don't ever try to change yourself to fit into someone else's narrative of how you should live your life.
Yes, I love it. So much so. Where can people find your information?
For the Parachute Goddess Project, you can find us on our website at theparachutegoddessproject.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. You can find me personally under Laylonna L. Harley on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube under Embrace Beauty Magazine, and you can find my magazine at www.embracebeautymagazine.com.
Nice. Yay. We will have to search you out, guys. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me on.
It has been such a pleasure. What is it that you want to be remembered by?
I want to be remembered by encouraging other women to embrace their beauty and that just to shine bright.
I love it. I love it. And you are. You're shining bright, and I'm so proud of you. You've done so much. It's so exciting to see your journey.
Oh, thank you so much. It's one that I didn't think would happen, but I'm so glad I leapt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We both did a leap to go do this, like traveling photography. I've always wanted to do it, but I was always scared and holding myself back. Adela wanted to be a makeup artist on set, but was always scared to if she failed.
Yeah.
And she's putting on makeup in the back of the car in the hills of Hollywood.
I love it.
We did it, and we were successful. And from that, we made a movement of the Parachute Goddess Project.
I love it. Yeah. So guys, remember to just face your fears and just go for it. Take that chance.
Yes, most definitely.
I love it. It has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Embrace your beauty,
Yeah.
guys.
I love it. Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to follow on YouTube and also on Facebook, Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez, and follow on Instagram, Elegant Jacqueline. Thank you, love. Heart. Bye. Thank you guys for tuning in.